All right. Hello to everybody. I am Rebecca Radice with Post Planner, and Diana, look, I got a new shirt. You can hardly see it. I got to stand up. New Post Planner shirt.
Post Planner.
Gotta love it. And I am joined by the lovely Diana Adams, our editor extraordinaire at Post Planner. And we are joking that we're so excited to get to see each other because we literally talk 24/7. But being able to see each other live on camera is a real treat. So I am excited to be here with you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah. So today we are going to talk about 7 Facebook marketing tips for a stellar holiday. I can hardly believe it's the holiday season. I don't know about you, but every single year it surprises me. It's like, whoa, when did that happen?
And this year it's even better with the Star Wars movie coming out.
Yes. All about the Star Wars.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, so what we wanted to talk about today is how to really get the most out of your Facebook marketing, and we're gonna really focus on one of my favorite topics, which is visual marketing and how to leverage visual marketing within your Facebook campaigns to increase your engagement around your content, how to really choose the right content for any campaign that you're going to run, how to get those set up, and how to really optimize those for your audience. So how to create content or how to find content, how to share content that they are absolutely going to love, and not just love, but want to pass along, that they want to share with their friends, with their contacts as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, a little different shift for us. I think we've talked about Twitter, and you are the queen of Twitter.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
you are the queen of Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and Google Plus and everything.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes, the queen of everything. At least that's what my coffee mug says.
Good. It should. It should say that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So excited to talk about just all things Facebook marketing, holidays, and give you a few ideas on how to, like I said, really maximize your Facebook marketing efforts. And I know it can feel really tough to get your content out there and seen, especially during the holidays. I know that we just shared as a team, we had put together an infographic, which Diana.
Wow. Shall I share the link?
Yes, absolutely. Is gonna share. And a lot of what we discuss here today is just an extended version of all the greatness that you're gonna find within that graphic. There you go. So bit.ly/Facebook holiday info is the infographic that we're really diving into today and talking about. And as I said, I know it can be really, really hard. Misty says, nice. You know, Misty, Diana had put together this cute little sign for our first blab together, and we had such great response. I told her she absolutely had to do it again. Way too cute. But it's, I think there's 92% of advertising happens on Facebook during the holiday season, or 92% of businesses are advertising on Facebook during the holiday season. And so because of that, it just becomes an even noisier space than it typically is. And being able to cut through that noise, to actually get in front of those people that you need them to not only see your content, but interact with your content so you can boost that engagement, it's harder than ever. And we know that also with organic reach and all the top of organic reach being dead, which it's absolutely not, that's another issue you have to combat. And we believe that visual marketing is definitely one of the answers, and a big, big answer to getting your content seen and found, and also getting people to really start to respond to that content as well. So we're going to dive in, but of course this is Blab, so we want it to be very interactive. So if you have questions, please make sure that you're adding those questions to that chat. And as I said, please make sure that you're sharing this blab with others so that we can get as interactive as possible here with just a lot of great content, a lot of great information on how to really leverage those campaigns so that they're not just pushing you through this month of December, but pushing you through into January and February and March, and giving you some great momentum into the new year, which is just crazy to me. I cannot believe 2016 is right around the corner.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, so let's start with probably the biggest opportunity you have on your Facebook page. And that's really what we're going to be centered around, is business marketing. So your Facebook page. And to me, the first thing people see as they're landing on your Facebook page, as they're maybe popping over to see, hey, is this somebody I actually want to connect with? Is this a page I want to like and start following? Is your cover photo.
Of course. That's a big one, isn't it?
It is. And I think it's a big missed opportunity that we talk a lot about at Post Planner, just how you can make the most of your cover photo, what tips, and ideas that we can share that would really help people stop those fans or potential fans dead in their tracks, give them, just instantaneously all of the information they need to know in order to like your page or in order to get interactive with your content. So Diana, let's start there and maybe share a couple of your thoughts on how we can, make the most of our cover photos.
Well, like you said, it is such a huge opportunity that brands and really anybody on Facebook has to draw attention to their page. And I like to think of it as a store. Like, let's say you're going out shopping for the holidays to the mall. Does anybody go to the mall anymore? I don't. But let's say you're going to the mall. Every store.
I did over the weekend.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I'm impressed.
But that is super rare. I'm totally with you. I'm an Amazon girl.
I was going to say, I've started buying groceries on Amazon, but that's a whole different story.
Amazon Prime. You got to love it.
Anyway, think of your Facebook cover photo as your store. People are walking into your store and it's the holidays. You want to dazzle them with beautiful decorations and you want to really stop them in their tracks and go, wow, this is a cool place. Let me stay a little while. Let me look at these posts. Let me see what's going on this page. And when you start playing around and going to some people and brands who have really figured out how to capture attention and create a buzz with their cover photo, you will notice that people do all kinds of crazy things that just work. For example, I was on our dear friend Peg Fitzpatrick's page the other day, and I saw that she has an arrow on her cover photo pointing to her call of action, right? She's using that cover photo as a visual cue for people to say, oh, what is this? She's drawing attention to it. Another thing that I think is so cool when people do it, and I haven't done it yet, although Misty, who designs my Misty on this, who's with us, Misty, she designs my Twitter backgrounds and all my social media images, backgrounds. I'm going to have to get her to make me one like this. But have you seen where people take their avatar and their cover photo and they combine them for that really trippy effect? Like maybe you'll have Santa Claus in his sleigh, and then his sleigh and all the reindeer are in the cover photo. Do you know what I mean? Like you kind of combine the two. It is so cool when people do that. And it's those kind of little things that make a huge difference.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. And I've seen so many people do exactly that. In fact, when the cover photos first came out, that was a big, big deal. And being able to create that streamlined kind of cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, there's a lot of brands that do that all year round. I was on, I think it was Budweiser's page, I don't know, some beer page the other day, and they were doing it so effectively, and it really makes you stop and go, whoa, that's cool. So there's just There's a lot more you can do with your cover photo than just uploading a holiday photo. Try to get creative about it and try to really capture attention. Be different. Stand out in the crowd. Do something. Put a little time and thought into it, and you'll just you'd be surprised. It's not. I don't think it would be as hard as what a lot of people would think. Just to do something a little different there. You know, take the extra minute to throw your photo in a photo editor and crank up the vibrance, right? Crank up the colors. Make it irresistible.
Yeah. Well, and you made a good point too about knowing what that next step is that you want people to take with any action on your cover photos. So what is that call to action? What is that text that you can put right there within your cover photo and encourage people to click on that CTA button there on your Facebook page? And I think that's another missed opportunity too. As you think, oh, well, I'll just throw up a happy holidays or Merry Christmas, image.
So much missed opportunity there, right?
Yeah, rather than thinking about maybe there's a product that you launched 6 months ago, you want to reboot that, maybe refreshen that, and somehow position that for the holidays. There's probably enormous value in it that people got out of it initially that you could freshen up, bring it back to life, put a new coat of lipstick on it, share something unique about it, and position it maybe in a little bit different way. That's a benefit for the holidays, or maybe it's a campaign that you want to run during the holidays. For example, it could be, we're talking about visual marketing, so maybe a photo contest. Maybe you run a page that's geared towards dog lovers. And I'm going to go that direction because, of course, I'm a huge dog lover.
And didn't you just recently start a page for dog lovers?
I did, as a matter of fact. Yes, and it's all about animal rescue. But let's just say, for example, that you're sharing content around animal rescue, around dogs. Why not take that opportunity to turn it into a photo contest and get your audience involved? Ask them to share their favorite pictures of them and their dog, or them and their animal during Christmas. For just off the top of my head, I was trying to think of a picture because we have 2 small Chihuahuas that, much to their chagrin, do get dressed up every once in a while, even though I'm not really allowed to do that because I live in a house full of men. But we have one picture with my dog with his hat on, his little Christmas hat on, and a little Christmas Santa suit. And he is giving me that look of, this is the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me in my life, but it's so cute. So why not, take those silly little images that other people are going to love. And what do we love most as human beings? We love to share our lives. That's why we're on Facebook in the first place, right?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yes. And as a brand, you have such a huge opportunity to create memorable moments for your fans when you do something like run a photo contest. Maybe, don't be stingy with the swag. Maybe let everybody, who submit something that day that you liked, make everybody a winner. It's the holidays. Yeah. Or even take it one step further and create those magic moments. Again, Peg is in my brain today. I don't know why, but when we did that,
love you for it.
When we did that webinar with her, she talked about an airline or a little kid. This happened recently in the news, and I don't remember the name of the airline, but he left his teddy bear there when he got on a flight, and the airline got his teddy bear for him and had it for him when he came back through that airport on the way home, and everybody was talking about it. It's a big deal. And it didn't cost them a lot of money to create that memory, and they did. And you have that same type of opportunity during the holidays, because during the holidays, people care more about experiences than they do things, right? Those experiences and those holiday emotions, peace, love, holiday, all of those things that are so near and dear to all of us. You can really tap into those and make some memorable moments.
Yeah, no, that's a really great point. I think tapping into the emotion behind the season is yeah, it just makes all the difference in being able to better connect with your audience. And there's so many different things we can do as far as letting people learn a little bit more about us, giving them insight into what our company is all about, what is the why behind what we do all year long. And another idea would be, sharing everybody on your team. So maybe getting a behind the scenes team picture where you get everybody's smiling face right there up on your cover photo. And then maybe you take that one step further and you highlight every single person on your team and who they are and what they do and what their role is. Because unfortunately, we all know that not everybody is seen and heard every single day, but those people are they're critical to how your business functions and how, your success throughout the year. So why not
exactly
have an opportunity, to really shine a spotlight on it.
And I think people expect brands to be a little bit more personal over the holidays, wouldn't you say? So, the things that you see every day, people want to see. Maybe you have a menorah hanging in the break room, or maybe all the employees have Christmas stockings up, or maybe the CEO comes in. Josh, maybe you would come in with some brownies that you made. We could take a picture, right, and put them on there. Josh's favorite brownies, whatever. People want to know. It humanizes. That's the word I'm looking for. It humanizes your brand. And by the way, I think it's time to hold up our sign again.
Yes, do a little Vanna. Yes.
Okay.
Infographic. So everything we're talking about here today, plus so much more, can be found on our holiday infographic, and you can find that at bit.ly/Facebook holiday info. And it's all centered around what we're talking about, which is how to really make the most of your holiday marketing, of your campaigns, and do it by leveraging the power of visual marketing. You're doing such a great job with that.
Everybody go here. It's really good. You won't regret it.
It is fantastic information on just ideas. We started with the cover photo. We talked a little bit about photo contests, but that's yet another idea. So idea number 2 on how you can utilize visual marketing within your Facebook marketing to help you get seen, to help you get your content out there in that news feed. And we've mentioned some brands, and I don't want anybody to get the idea that we're just solely focused on brands. The idea behind that is you don't have to have a big budget to take those ideas that big brands are utilizing and use them within your own business. What they do is they really get those creative juices flowing. They really help you to take a look at what are they doing? What are they doing that's fun, that's different? You mentioned humanizing, their company. And I think that's such an important one. And contests, photo contests can definitely do that. We touched on one idea, which is having everybody, all of your fans, share some of their own images. But there's plenty of other directions that you could go with that as well. So Diana, why don't you give us a couple of ideas?
Well, just to elaborate on what you said, typically fan-generated content generates more engagement, right? So that's another reason why. I mean, not only are your fans going to be giving you some amazing photos that you can publish, but that's most likely going to spark some more engagement for you. But there's so much you can do with your photos. The key is to be creative. And I think that we see this every day with the viral photos within Post Planner, wouldn't you say, Rebecca? Because we kind of see how this it's kind of like a little magical formula in a way, because you post a photo, right? Something you've really thought out. You've aligned the photo with your brand messaging. Say you've tossed it into Canva and you've even maybe put a little logo in the corner, nothing too distracting, but just something to brand it. And you post that. What you will likely see is that then when you post a link after that, you'll have even more engagement, because people really love those photos. So, and I think that, again, it goes back to what you were saying about how everybody can just throw up a picture of, happy holidays on their cover photo or in their Facebook photos. But try to get creative, right? Try to do something different that other people aren't thinking of. And you would be surprised how just the everyday things that you see are what people want to see. They want to be in that part of your life. Share. Don't be afraid to share. If there's ever a time to get personal, really personal on Facebook, it's over the holidays.
Yeah. And I think that does go back to letting them know how important they are to you as well. Right. So how can you highlight? Yeah. How can you highlight your audience? How can you say thank you to your audience for all of the support that they've given you throughout the year? And contests can definitely do that. I mean, it could be as simple as a coupon code to say thank you to all of your, faithful Facebook fans. And this works, just as easily with a business that is offline as well as an online business. Take this coupon code, and when you come into our local business, make sure you let us know that, you found us on Facebook. We have a yogurt place here in California. I don't know if you have them in Atlanta, called Yogurtland.
I don't think so. Sounds good though.
Yes, I am a big lover of frozen yogurt, and they do a terrific job all year round on their Facebook page, and definitely one to take a look at, even if it's just because everything looks so good. But when you look at it from a marketing perspective and how they take care of their Facebook community throughout the years, they do exactly what I just talked about. So they are offering special, deals, which you could certainly do during the holidays, that tells you, hey, let us know when you walk into your local store that you saw this on Facebook. And because of that, you'll get $1 off or whatever the case might be. And then they do it the opposite way as well. When you walk into a Yogurtland, they have done a very, very, I would say aggressive, but not aggressive in an annoying way, campaign to get you to sign up. Or rather follow them, like their page on Facebook. So when you're standing in line and you're waiting there to weigh out, anybody that's gotten frozen yogurt knows what I'm talking about, weigh your yogurt, you're like, while they're figuring it out, you are staring at a big sign that says, like our page on Facebook.
The ultimate call to action.
Exactly. So they're utilizing both offline and online marketing to get you where? To get you over onto Facebook, where you're getting what? Exclusive deals. Yes, so there's that exclusivity of being a part of a community. And they're really getting you excited about wanting to be a part of that. You're also thinking, oh, wait a second, what am I going to miss out on if I don't like their page? And I'm trying to remember, because it's been a while since I first took advantage of that and liked their page. But I'm certain there was, a benefit involved for standing there and liking their page and showing them that you've liked their page, and, probably getting some type of a discount. But I think there's just the idea behind this, and why I share it is because there's many different ways that you can combine offline and online marketing to get people really excited about your company, about your business, about your brand, about your product. And you can do it in a fun, entertaining, engaging way without it feeling like you're beating people over the head.
Yeah, and I love it. I love it when brands are able to do what you described and take their local audience and transfer it over online. I love that. That's a win. That's a win-win.
Oh, they've done just a brilliant job with that entire campaign. And it's something that no matter the size of your company, you can take that and do something very, very similar to that. You could be a local bakery. You could be, your whole idea could be that you want to sell more of your cupcakes during the holiday season. So you don't have to look at this from, I've got to be a big brand to make this idea work. I think you really said it, Diana, in that all you have to do is tap into your community, into those people that are frequenting either your local store or your Facebook page, and really understand what they're looking for, what's going to make their life better, easier, what is going to give them just enormous value during the holiday season. That's going to make them want to make a better connection with you, maybe learn more about you, and stick around in, those months to come. Because like we said, it's not enough to just think very short term, the next 30 days. You want to ensure that this is all rolling up into your larger goals, your larger campaigns that are going to carry you through next year. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, that is so true. And I thought maybe, and this just popped into my head, might be kind of a cool thing for you to talk about is with the visual marketing, how easy it is to put together little infographics, little snippet infographics, right? Because I saw you did one of those the other day. I know that didn't take a lot of time, and I don't know, do people know about those tools for that? How cool. I mean, I know you can create infographics in Canva now. I mean, how easy is that, right?
Oh, yeah. There's so many great tools. And
those are in our ebook. Oh, never mind. Everybody get our ebook at thepostplanner.com/blog, because the tools are listed in that ebook.
You're so funny, but I was just going to mention a couple of them because there are so many. And it's not just infographics, right? It's the ability.
There's all kinds of visual content, right?
Exactly.
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it could be video. It could be just a static image. It could be the shorter form, longer form type of visual content. But there are so many different great tools out there. And you mentioned Canva, which definitely a go-to. Canva's been around for a while now, so I think most people are pretty familiar with it. In its ability to just allow you to jump in, grab a quick template, drop some content in there, and design this beautiful holiday graphic or a cover photo like we were talking about, and get your own content. So really customize that, get your own content in there and on your page. Another one of my favorites is Relay. Craig Carpenter, the founder of Relay. I just love this tool. It's something I think I stumbled upon maybe 6 months ago, and it has quickly become a go-to tool for me because it's just so freaking easy to create something kind of on the fly, but create something super professional that is customized, because none of us want to look like a cookie cutter. Pun intended, I guess, for the holidays with all the cookies we probably eat.
That was good. I just got that. That was good.
Yeah, but my attempt at humor. But yeah, there's so many different tools, and we list out, I think, over 20 different tools.
Yeah.
That
WordSwag is another one that comes to mind on that. I love those cool little graphics you can put on there. Now that tool
I use daily. It's an awesome
I love that one. And that one is for branding your image, putting your messaging on there on a graphic. So cool.
Yeah. So and that's a mobile app. So depending on if you're mobile, if you're on desktop, there's so many different options. And even if you don't find, fancy yourself graphically inclined, even with these tools, you can definitely put together something that will create that holiday feel for your Facebook page, for your campaigns. And it doesn't have to take a ton of time, and it doesn't have to cost a lot of money either. And that's definitely our point here today too, is let's look at what brands are doing just to get a good idea, but then let's dissect that. Let's kind of tear that down and look at how can you actually use that within your business, whether you're, a solopreneur or, just a one-man shop. How can you get some traction off of your holiday marketing without it having to cause a whole lot of stress and overwhelm, which, so much of our
or cost a lot of money. Right? It doesn't have to cost a lot of money either, because so many of those tools are free. So it's like you've got your own graphic design department on your phone, right? On call all the time. Just boop, 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 there you go. So it gone are the days when you have to hire a designer to do fancy graphics. You just don't.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And not that there's anything wrong with that, if it's just not something you enjoy or want to do, or you just plain suck at it, never a bad idea to give it away. But all right, so we're at the halfway mark. We have 4 more to go. So we need to hustle just a little bit. And I'm going to combine 2 of them. So our next ones are decking the halls with posts of jolly, and then how to use holiday greetings that really work, that convert people from, your Facebook page, maybe over to your website. You talked a little bit about the call to action. And I think we can combine these 2 into how do you craft something? How do you craft a visual? How do you create that content and the context around it?
Exactly.
To drive that interaction. So why don't you go for it with a couple of tips?
Oh gosh. I would say one tip would be to really craft your photo so that it is aligned with your brand messaging. And I'll just give you a couple of brands I know off the top of my head that are very good at this. And if you go look at their Facebook pages, you'll see what I mean. But take GoPro, for example. Take Nike. Nike is amazing at it. You look at one of their pictures and you can almost you start sweating like you've just run, 4 miles in a pair of Nikes just from looking at the picture. They do an outstanding job of drawing in the ideal Facebook fan, the ideal customer with their images. The people who are drawn to that immediately connect that with their brand. Again, GoPro is another one of my favorites, their Facebook page. I mean, I could just be on there all day. And so it just really comes back to being unique. How can you stand out? How can you convey a message that is aligned with your brand, aligned with your culture of your brand, and really trigger an emotion with your fans, really allow them to connect with you through that photo. So instead of thinking a picture is just a picture, it's no big deal. Don't think of it that way. A picture can be extraordinary. And just looking at some of the viral photos that are out there, I mean, you see that people have put a lot of time and thought. They're not fancy. You can tell it didn't take, necessarily a lot of time to put together, but there's a lot of thought in them.
Needed a drink of water. Sorry. Pause.
I forgot to bring my water bottle over here, so that's okay.
No, all so many great points, and I think the key too with any of your marketing is test.
Exactly.
So really figuring out what works, what doesn't work, and how can you recreate that over and over and over again in a way that does resonate with your Facebook fans. So think about, to Diana's point, what is it that they're looking for? What emotions can you tap into? And I'll go back to our previous conversation about, the photo contest with dogs. There's 2 things I know about Facebook or social media that get the most interaction possible. And what is it?
Dogs and cats.
And it's kids. Okay, it could be dogs and cats, but it's animals and it's kids.
Yeah.
But granted, that may have nothing to do with your business or brand. So you want to keep it on brand and really get inside the head of your Facebook fans and understand what it is that gets them just totally pumped up, really excited, and how can you convey the value of your business, of your product, of your service in that fun and festive way that really circles and encapsulates the season and the excitement and the enthusiasm that people feel around that. So, for example, we talked a little bit about an Amazon. If you're a company that is selling maybe products like Amazon, how can you highlight certain products that would be great gifts or would just be something that, you know, at under the Christmas tree, rather than going, oh, tube socks. You know, people would be super excited to see that under their tree. And then how could you start to highlight maybe specific products that people are going to find maybe a little bit more exciting during the holiday season? So it doesn't have to be difficult, and you don't have to put a ton of thought into it. You really need to understand what it is that your fans are looking for from you. So what is it that brought them to your page in the first place? What keeps them coming back? And how can you now give back and give them a little bit more of what they're looking for, and give them a little bit more of that value that I know we're looking to give every single day. That's just going to raise awareness or perception around your product, your service, your brand, and help them make that better connection with you. I know, Diana, you've said it multiple times with tapping into the emotion, but I think that's definitely a big opportunity here is getting people to really understand what problem that solves for them, that particular product, or what problem you yourself, if you're an entrepreneur, or maybe you're a business coach, that you are looking to, you know, have 6 people for 2016 hire you to be their life coach or their health and fitness coach. How do you encourage that, and how can you use visual marketing to really tell that story on your behalf? And like I said, it doesn't have to be difficult, and it doesn't have to be complicated. You
know, you talked about the tube socks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My friend Marcia Collier.
Memories of being a kid. Oh, yay. How exciting. I mean, I know I need tube socks, but really?
Marcia Collier calls that present face. That's when you get present face.
Present face. That's awesome. Yeah.
That's present face.
Where you're like, I know I need it, but it's probably going to turn into, something I pass along. Exactly. So the next one is, let's talk about Facebook advertising and using visual marketing within your ads to create that bigger, that better experience. First and foremost, it's really understanding advertising guidelines. It's understanding what the exact specifications are for Facebook ads, and making sure that what you're creating, and it could be that you're creating it in a tool like Canva, maybe you are working within Photoshop, but really making sure that you are creating those specifically for Facebook ads, because one mistake I still see people make is they're trying to create one thing that's for everything. And what I mean by that is, don't make the mistake of creating one graphic that's going to serve your community on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, all over social media. You really need to get specific with your Facebook ads. Again, this is going to be another area for you to test, but you can have a lot of fun with festive Facebook ads, talking about everything we've already mentioned here, about your business, about maybe a specific product, about your coaching, whatever it is you're looking to promote. But Diana, do you have a few ideas specifically on how we can use Facebook ads to really generate awareness around all of that content, that visual content specifically, that we're creating on our Facebook page?
Oh, sure. Well, this one is kind of an easy one, because we all know what those ads on Facebook look like that we just think are annoying, right? They're like off to the side and we're like, ugh. And then there's other ads that are right there in front of us and we think, wow, and we want to click on them. Very easy. Just look at there's such a huge difference in those ads, right? And so many people say you have to spend money now on Facebook. And even Scott at Post Planner, who's our resident Facebook expert, he talks about how you can even spend $1 a day and it will make a difference. But you really want to leverage the power of visual marketing to capture attention again. So, is your graphic stunning? Is it something that would make you look twice? You're on your computer flipping through Facebook. Would it make you do a double take? Is there a call to action there in your ad? Is it something that is, I think probably most importantly, is it something that speaks to your audience? Are you solving a problem for them? Are you tapping into what's important to them, what they're looking for? Is it providing value? So the wording there is very important. Would you agree, Rebecca?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And it's definitely that scenario of stop trying to be everything to everybody.
Exactly.
And instead get hyper specific, because we know that that's the real power in Facebook ads as well, is getting very hyper targeted in who you can get that content in front of. So it could be a situation where you're segmenting your actual Facebook ads or your boosted posts, where you don't necessarily, if you're a national company, you don't necessarily want to post a beach picture in Australia and share that with people that are freezing their tails off in Boston, right?
Right. That might even be annoying.
Exactly. You talked about annoying. Yeah. So think too about how you can create specific segments for your content, and then how you can use Facebook ads to get that content in front of the exact right people. So stop thinking, how do I cast the widest possible net? And instead think about, how do I create content for this specific, unique group of people that is dealing with A or B or C? Maybe their biggest pain point is this, but and I'll just use Australia again. Hello, Donna Moritz, one of my favorite visual marketers, who is, I think it's their summertime there right now. So that's why I'm thinking of the beach. But you don't want to offend people that are freezing on maybe, the East Coast here in the US, by sharing with them pictures that just aren't, they're not relevant to them. They're not inspiring or interesting to them. So think about how you can create that content and then put it in front of those exact right people that are actually going to want to interact. Because that's part of the problem too, is you're very general possibly in the content that you're creating, and expecting everybody to want to jump on board that post and start liking and sharing and commenting. Well, think about it. Put yourself in their shoes. And is it something that is actually solving that problem, like you said, Diana, within their life? Well, maybe it's not. And maybe that's part of the issue. So don't waste your time and energy on going too broad or too big when it comes to Facebook advertising. That would definitely be one of my biggest suggestions, especially during the holidays. Really start to target and segment your community, your fans, so that you are placing that content in front of a group of people that's actually going to want to take action on it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add to that one, or should we move on?
Let's move on.
All right. So once you've started to, play around with your cover photos, once you've started to freshen those up, to get into the holiday spirit with your cover photos, once you've started to really work on your text and the context around all of your graphics, well, now you've moved on, and now you've started to boost those posts, or you started to create ads, you're getting more engagement, you're getting more people interested. how do we keep that momentum going? And Diana, how do we stay inspired? Yeah.
Yes,
how do we stay
keep
inspired?
it up. Keep it up. There's so much that we can learn from doing all this testing that you're talking about and trying different ads and trying different photos and different posts and different headlines. You are very quickly going to learn what kind of content your audience craves. And once you figure that out, repeat, 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 right? So keep it going in the new year. Don't stop. Don't think of this as just something for the holidays. Think of it as something that you can leverage to make 2016 your biggest year on Facebook yet. You want to keep it going, of course. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, and I think it's looking to look to your analytics. How are people responding to all of your content? How are they interacting with it? And piecing out every single piece of your content so that you can look at it, with that critical eye of, what could I do to make this a little bit better? What could I have done to make this a stronger visual? And that's where A/B testing comes in too, where you can start to pick one key element within your visual marketing. So let's say you posted a fun little holiday quote that you decided you were going to test out, maybe just a different image behind that quote. So that's what I mean by one element. Don't get fancy and try to A/B test multiple different things at once. There's just no way to do that. So you want to get very specific in what you're changing on those graphics. So maybe it is the image behind that. Maybe it is the fact that you used a more block form type of text. And on another one, you use kind of a calligraphy, a more fancy font. So start to look at what could you tweak? What one little change could you make that might have a pretty big impact on the interaction that you're getting within that content. So don't be afraid to test variations out, to test a variety of different ideas out. But just keep in mind that if you're going to test, you want to be very specific in that one element that you're testing out. Otherwise, you're going to get confused and there's not going to be any way for you to actually know what's working and what's not. And then, as Diana said, take that knowledge, take that information and drive that into the new year. So for example, you could be testing out whether human beings within your, so meaning, real people within your graphics work better than say an avatar, than say, maybe using a cartoon type of image and testing those side by side to get a feel for what's working better for your particular brand. What are people more responsive to? And then you can take that information and you can roll that right into your January, your February, your March campaigns to really start to level up, as we say every single day, the results that you're getting out of your marketing. And
there's a momentum in social media. I notice it on Instagram when I don't post for a week or two, right? All of a sudden everything falls flat. Or on Twitter, you go for a week and you don't schedule your posts and you're not engaging as much, you're busy, and then wow, you can definitely feel the loss of momentum. So it's kind of like, well, this doesn't apply to you, Rebecca, because I know you walk 5 to 10 miles a day. But for the rest of us, it's kind of like exercise, right? It's like it takes all this energy to get it going. But once you got it going, just keep it going. It's not so hard to keep it going once it's started. It's the start, stop that's so just energy draining. I think is
for
what I
sure.
would call it. So, so take it from somebody who has start, stopped a million times. It's not fun. Just
Don't
keep
do
it going. Don't do that. I would not recommend that.
Yeah. Well, you talked about Nike, so we'll just swipe from them. Just do it and get consistent. Well, and I think that could be, the greatest gift you give yourself during the holiday season is to really get your marketing ducks in a row so that you are ready to go when January hits. And there's always, I talk to so many business owners and entrepreneurs throughout the year, and they talk about, the big highs and the big lows within their business. And what does that come from? Many different reasons, but so much of it is exactly what you're talking about, where you're not consistent in your efforts. You start and you're out there and you're marketing, and what is that doing? That's driving leads, it's driving sales, it's bringing people through the door, and then boom, you get really busy. And down you go, and all of a sudden you're wondering what happened and why have my sales dropped off. So give yourself that gift of putting a plan in place during the holiday season as you're testing things out, as you're starting to figure out what's working. Also sit down and say, okay, so I can commit to this much, posting throughout January, February, and March. And this is based off of all the testing I've done, the type of content that my customers, my Facebook fans are really looking for. And once you lay out kind of that foundation of what you're going to commit to, now you can start sprinkling in other things. So if you're a local business, you can start sprinkling in maybe live events or causes that you're a part of, that you're going to be out and about within the community, and you want to sprinkle those events in there, but don't overwhelm yourself with trying to take it all on at once. Use this month as a learning experience, as a huge growth opportunity to really drive you into the new year, so you don't see that start-stop situation. You don't see that situation where January and February become this desolate wasteland of sales for you, which can definitely happen. Yeah. Make it so that you set yourself up for success. You set yourself up to this, to a huge January of engagement and interaction, and that situation where Facebook becomes a main pillar of your success within your business. And I get a little passionate about it, as you can tell, because there's so many different ways that we trip ourselves up, whether it's in our life, whether it's within our business, whether it's within social media and Facebook specifically. But the good news is you can always adjust. You can always shift that direction that you're headed in. And I think December is a great time to really assess and really affirm what's working for you within your Facebook marketing, and then decide, how are you going to do more of that? How are you going to create more of that success in January, February, March, and forward?
And another, just to piggyback on what you've said, I will say that remember, when you are out of control, you are in control. And I will tell you what that means. I learned that on Twitter. Definitely carries over to Facebook. But when you start feeling like you're having so much engagement and getting so many people responding and leaving comments and likes, it's very easy to think, okay, I need to stop a minute, take a breather, let me step back here. No, keep going. That's good, right? That's the momentum that's building. So just keep it up. So yeah, when that happens to me, like I said, it happens to me on Twitter sometimes, and I just tell I get that feeling like, okay, I can't keep up with the tweets. I'm losing it here. I just tell myself, hey, when you're out of control, you're in control. I just keep going. And then you don't get tempted to just, because the easy thing to do is just to take a step back, and go ahead and push yourself because you'll be so happy you did.
Yeah. No, that's great advice.
Push yourself without getting overwhelmed, like you said.
But that's exactly what having a plan in place does for you too. It creates that stability so that you don't feel as out of control. You don't feel as overwhelmed. And then you also know how you're going to manage it all. And I think that's another critical aspect is knowing what are those tools you've got in place that you're going to are your go-to on a daily basis that are going to allow you to post as often as you want to, that are going to allow you to come in and create that conversation and that interaction without it feeling heavy and overwhelming. And then, like you said, I think, you just have to commit to pushing through that fearful part of, oh my gosh, there's so much happening that I can't manage it all. And just knowing, take a deep breath, you're going to be able to. And it's more exciting than it is scary.
Exactly. I completely agree.
Yeah. So, all right. So we've got 4 minutes left. We've got our number 7 just before we wrap up. And I touched on it just a little bit with the giving back, but I think it's just so important that as a company, as businesses, as marketers, that we're saying thank you. To those that have supported us throughout the years. And I think visual marketing can really help us do that. And we can do such a great job in using Facebook to give back to our fans. So give us a few thoughts on that, Diana, before we head off.
First of all, first thing that comes to my mind is be very sincere in your message. People know when you're not being sincere. They know when it's just something you threw together at the last minute with half a thought. Be sincere. Show true gratitude. My second piece of advice would be don't be a Grinch, right? Don't be stingy. Give out some swag. Give out some, whoever doesn't win the contest, maybe give them a coupon code. Don't hold back, because people will remember how you treated them during the holidays, and they will remember that throughout the year. And I don't want to get this stat wrong, Rebecca, but I want to say that and you've probably heard this, that people are more likely to buy with a brand online that engages with them. And I wish I could remember the exact percentage, but it's just really important. Just don't underestimate the importance of that and how much it means to people, because it does. I mean, even something as answering your comments. I mean, because so many brands don't do that. I mean, just doing that right there could really make a difference for somebody. That's like, wow, they really care, Well,
and again, it's something you can carry throughout the entire year, right?
Exactly.
Being able to say thank you and give back in little ways. It's that idea of just constantly paying it forward and helping people understand how important they are to your business success. And that could be in just taking all of that knowledge you have in your head and being able to share that. Being able to share those tips or those how-tos or those success ideas of how, you've tried and maybe failed, but here's, why it really worked in the long run. Giving any of that to people in a way of just saying, here, I freely give of this value and I don't expect anything in return, is something we can do all year long. And it does. It builds that rapport, it creates trust, and it allows people to say, wow, if they're giving this much freely on their Facebook page, what can I expect if I were to, buy their service or buy their product or opt in, to their latest and greatest offering, whatever that looks like. So just think about, from, again, your audience's perspective, what is it that would be a simple offering, but a huge gesture in the way of saying, thank you for all that you do. And you're ready to say thank you with our free infographic? Is that what you're saying?
I'm ready to show my gratitude.
I got it.
One of our peeps who are here.
So we have just a minute left, and thank you to everybody that joined us here today. We have been talking about 7 Facebook marketing tips for a stellar holiday, and those and so much more are a part of our infographic that we put together and just recently launched at Post Planner. You can find it at bit.ly/Facebook Holiday Info. We would love it if you would take a look at it. It is free to you to download, and would love your your feedback as well on what can you do, with those ideas. What are you going to do with those ideas to really drive your business forward, not just, through December, through the holidays. You are cracking me up, but also through the new year. And so you can do that. Please connect with us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Post Planner. We would love to see you over there. And of course, we would love to see you within the Post Planner app as well, which everything we've talked about here today directly relates to what we do in helping you boost your engagement every single day of the year at Post Planner. And that is what we are all about. We are all about making your life as a business, as a marketer, easy, simplifying your strategy, and really allowing you to come in and find content that you don't even have to create on your own. It's already been created. It's already been proven to be successful. And we do, like I said, all of that every day within Post Planner and as a team to help you succeed. So we are definitely here as your extension of your marketing team. And so thank you to everybody that was here today. Look forward to seeing you over on the Facebook page. Thank you, Diana, for all of your thoughts.
Oh, thank you.
Totally awesome, as always.
Thank you, Rebecca. It's always a pleasure to be with you.
Love it. All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.